Megan's going to talk about 3 questions that we might want to consider before we retire. I think it's always a good idea either to have a checklist, have these bullet points, these questions when we start to think about it. This first one, I think it's simple, goes back to the basics, doesn't it?
It kind of does. So the very first question is, when do you want to retire? I mean, at what age? What's the game plan? Is it far down the road? Is it next week, next month, next year?
Are people still circling on the calendar? Are we old school? Is that old school?
I think that's kind of old school, but kind of same thing. Like they put a countdown on their cell phone.
Yes.
When is that for you? And yes, it is a simple question, but it's not a simple answer. There's so much that goes into it. As I transition into retirement, I'm thinking about not just the money, but how do I want to spend my time? Where do I want to spend my holidays? What kind of income might I need? I mean, all these questions kind of go together, and it's not easy, but I think that's the first thing that we need to understand about you so that we know how to structure the game plan. And it's kind of like getting on a flight. The very first thing that they ask you to do when you go and book a ticket is, where are you today? Mm-hmm. What's the city you're going from? And then the second thing is, where the city that you're going to? Well, today is where I am. Where I want to go to is retirement. And then they're going to map the course to get you there. It's the same thing with us. We need to know where you are today, where we want to get you to, retirement, and we're going to map that course to make sure that we get you there and that you're successful and confident and feel good about what's going on with your finances.
It's always a journey, and everybody's going in different directions, different destinations. So that's right. A great analogy, actually. Okay, what about number 2? Take us through that one.
So how much will you rely on Social Security in retirement? I am pretty sure that I've had people say, well, I'll never get Social Security. And maybe that's the case. I don't know what it might look like down the road. I can tell you today, I don't think today's retirees should be worried about if they're going to get Social Security or not. I mean, let's face it, the people that vote, they're getting Social Security benefits. And we're not going to continue to vote people into office if they're going to take away our money. So I'm not so concerned about that. What I am more considerate of is our younger people today. Will they still have Social Security benefits? And I think the other thing to consider is it probably won't look like what it looks like today. It is a program that's underfunded, and that's not me speaking, those are facts. So if we know that this program is underfunded, maybe we should create a different strategy so that we have something else that's going to take its place instead of relying on Social Security.
I think that's a great approach.
And I mean, when you look at the income in retirement, it used to be that there was a kind of a 3-legged stool, right? I had my own retirement savings, I had pension, and then Social Security. Well, if the pensions have kind of gone by the wayside, and Social Security may or may not be there in the way that it is today or look the same as it does, then now I've gone from a 3-legged stool to a pogo stick. It's now, I'm just going up.
You used to have one of those. It never was successful for me.
Yeah, it didn't end well for me either.
Didn't end well ever, yeah.
But that pogo stick is now my own internal savings. And I better make sure that what I'm saving can get me through not having those other income sources.
Okay, we've got one more question here that we're focusing on in this segment particularly. Take us through.
So that next one is healthcare. Am I doing enough today? And understanding how this all works to be able to get me through healthcare costs in retirement. And it's not just your premium on your policy. It's not just Medicare premium. It's the other things on top of that Medicare doesn't even cover. Medicare doesn't cover long-term care. How do I make sure that, heaven forbid it happens to me, that I've got enough money to get me through? And Amy, I feel kind of connected to you. I don't know if you know this, but your grandparents.
I'm about to find out.
Yeah, your grandparents used to live close to my family home growing up.
Yes, you did tell me this.
And we went to your firework stand.
Hey, that was my summer income back in the day.
I mean,
it
right?
It was very profitable.
Oh, well, it was great. And I remember, seeing you and thinking, oh, Amy Leitz, she's so pretty.
Oh, that's so kind of you. I'm so glad.
And you still are gorgeous.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad you came to the fireworks stand, supported the Leitz children, because it was, we had about, it seemed like 2 weeks worth of, you could sell fireworks back then. I know that's changed today, but it's amazing how, the time, the effort. I told you, I got to go with my dad to purchase the fireworks, so I saw the markup. So maybe that's why, money.
You're a little bit hesitant now to buy a whole bunch of fireworks.
Yeah, the children, my children never had fireworks because of it. Poor kids.
There you go. Yeah. But I brought that up because with my parents, I saw them go through and have a lot of healthcare, potential healthcare costs in retirement. It was lucky, though, that my dad had TRICARE for life, and so a lot of things were covered. But imagine if you didn't have that robust of a game plan for health costs in retirement. I mean, my mom had dementia. My father and my father-in-law both had lung cancer. My mom was in and out of, facilities, and she was in a memory care unit. I mean, those things are not covered by health insurance, and they're not covered by Medicare. So we better have some game plans put together to be able to account for all of that. And those three questions are just a handful of them.
I was going to ask you, we have just about a minute left here. If there was one that you could add in our time remaining, what would it be?
So when you want to retire, what kind of income will it look like in retirement? The healthcare costs. The last thing I would say is, what's important to you? What do you want this to look like? What do you want retirement to look like? And are you concerned, or is it impactful to you to put together a strategy for legacy planning? Because it's not just what I make and live with while I'm living, it's how do I leave a lasting impression on my family? And I want to make sure that I do that in a tax efficient way, but I also want to make sure that I'm leaving a gift and not a burden. The last thing that I want is my family to have to come out of pocket to take care of me.
Yeah.
So we better make sure that I've got some game plan in place for that, but that also there's some strategies in place that we can leave a blessing to our family.